We're live right now, but I forgot to hit the intro. That's the wrong intro. What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night, it's the Fandom Empire Show. Thanks for coming out. Lots to talk about tonight in a very short amount of time to do it. Fun little topic just about our experiences at movie theaters, our better ones. We'd be here, probably for a week if we talked about all the bad ones. We're also going to talk about Halloween 2018 versus Halloween H2O. What was the better soft reboot of the franchise? We're going to dive into the new Blumhouse intro, which features the shape. Star Wars has changed forever, in my opinion. And AEW Forbidden Door was this Sunday night, and We got a little bit of a review on that at the end of the show. Without further ado, though, joining us, it's going to be a fantastic foursome to begin with. Oh, no, now it's a fivesome. Full-on orgy. It's... I see Johnny's face. No one else did, but I see it. It was all smiles. Joker type smiles. Speaking of that, man, what's going on, Johnny?
There were not smiles. This is not my lineup for a fun orgy. Sorry, guys.
We're talking about Mike's here. Everybody loves Mike.
Yeah, okay. Not an orgy.
So you don't deny that everybody loves Mike, because I mean, I love him too. So.
I doubt that's true, but I appreciate the love.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with loving Mike. Just like I said, not an orgy. I mean, and not unless
Whoa! Not unless this is
not unless the ratio of females to males is like double. Then it's okay. I got no shame. Mike can be in the room as long as there's enough others to make the ratio appropriate.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in that room. Thank you, though.
Shots have been fired. What a great start we are off at.
That's for anybody.
We're already off the rails, and we've been on here 3 minutes.
Everybody's comfortable in a group setting. That's fine.
Jade, wait, when did Caitlin become a mod? About
10 minutes ago.
3.5 minutes ago. And Jer was about 10 minutes ago. So now we have Caitlin and Alicia and Jade are all mods. So that's kind of cool. Now we just need to get Mrs. Tommy B in here. Just have her come in as Mrs. Tommy B, and we can make her a mod. Or maybe I'll make a burner account, a Mrs. Tommy B burner account, and like the account just rips Tommy all show long, doesn't stop. I could get on board with that. What's going on, Tommy?
I don't need her to do that. I got enough people doing that for her. So, and you know how it is.
Are you firing shots at yourself?
No, I'm saying people always firing shots at me. I don't fucking know why.
Because you live in the States, it's legal.
Acting like I fucking some people. No one.
5 bean bags talking about Halloween. I don't know if that's
a beanbag. Thank you.
Or
I'm more pear shaped than a beanbag.
Worst attempt at an insult ever. So we're expecting some of those tonight, and as they come, I'm in a dish back mood tonight. So
is beanbag an insult? I mean, I have one.
I don't know what he's going for there. I have no idea.
I mean, I'd like to assume we each have a beanbag.
I threw some bean bags a couple weeks ago. Jade and I went on a double date with Kieran and his wife. And, so.
Considering the metaphor I was going with, that was an interesting segue.
Would that mean Kate and I went on a date with Kieran Sunday night?
Yeah.
Even though we all just kind of hung out in the same room for a couple hours? It was fun, though.
No, I'm not touching that one.
That could go interesting places, needless to say.
We went through Forbidden Doors.
That's one word for it. Dean Renner, what's that even supposed to mean, though, Callum? That's the question we're all interested in. Solid wants to know where the ends poster is. Up your ass.
In Blum's office.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, they had this little beanbag game. It was like, what's that ball game you play?
Skee ball?
That's it. That's the one. But
you played cornhole. Just call it what it is.
Throw it up a ramp, and there was like...
It's called cornhole.
Cornhole.
Is that what it is? Oh,
yes.
I was quite good at it, though. I guess I just like, bean bags in my hands. So,
who the fuck named that game? Cornhole. Here, I'm just gonna throw these bean bags down your cornhole.
What's going on, Joel? I feel like I'm being too loud right now. I think I need to quiet down. Got to get more stuff in this room. Echoes too easily. So there is if anybody in the Halloween talk chat is listening, or the Fandom Addicts chat is listening. If one of you guys can post the Blumhouse intro with the shape in the chat, just so I can grab it really quickly and put it on screen, that would be super helpful. Had no time to set up tonight. Are the Halloween Ends reshoots complete? Not to my knowledge. As far as I know, they shot last week and are going to continue to shoot all the way through this week. I know last week was heavy Jamie Lee Curtis, I believe. Again, this is all rumor, but from what I understand, they shot last week and will shoot again this week. So I think we were fairly spot on when we said it was going to be a couple of weeks, and that's what it's turned out to be. So hopefully for the better, but I guess there's not really going to be a way to know one way or another, since we didn't get to see that cut. We know what happens in that cut. Foley says trailer should be out in a couple-ish weeks.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on anything.
There is no trailer. We're not.
I mean, that depends on what you
the
define.
First bit you're going to see is release day.
It depends on what you define couple-ish. I mean, Nope is what, July 21st?
Is it?
It's the end of July.
It's in the 20s.
I thought that was sooner.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's July 20-something.
Well, I can tell you as of 10 minutes ago, there was still no Halloween Ends trailer rated. So,
but I mean, that would make sense. I mean, Nope. Yeah, July 22nd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we may not see it rated until like the 10th.
Yeah, Nope's the 21st, says Dean.
21st the official release date. 22nd is the official release date. 21st is preview.
I could see it being out that week then. That might make some sense. It's an actual video, huh?
Did you just want the graphic?
Yeah, I just want the graphic of the screenshot. The video might get us in trouble, but if anybody wants the video, here it is right there. Dean put it up, and just say Little Miss Piggy got away. Jerry mentioned being a mod. Hey, we're always looking for help around the channel, man, and specifically people that have been around a while and just trustworthy people, as we've met a few that are not. So hit me up. I know you're on Patreon. Hit me up and we can have a conversation about it, man. And also joining us this evening, since we didn't get through the intros, Mr. Mike Bish. What's happening, dude? Stranger Things trailer. I know we didn't get a chance to react to it, but
oh man, I thought it was great. I had chills. I don't know. They played it really well. I thought the trailer was great. The music, the way it started off, and then the way the music hit. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've been looking forward to something like this. I mean, it's really been a long time, and they have the opportunity to deliver in a big way here, and I hope they do, and I think that they will. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I was gonna say so. I was gonna say that I remember when they first announced that it was gonna be in parts. I thought they were gonna split it. I thought that was gonna be a huge mistake. And when I finished Volume 1, I was mad. I was like, man, I don't want to wait a whole month. But honestly, people have been talking about it ever since, and it's honestly just the hype is still there, and it's gonna be talked about probably a month or so after Volume 2 is over with. So I don't know if they'll split season 5, but I think that it ended up being a good decision for them to split this season. So
I didn't watch the trailer because I'm still not caught up. Didn't even know when it come out to a day and a half after it had come out, or else I would have got to you.
I didn't even think we were getting one, honestly. I thought they were just going to go with the teaser that they had released. So, but
oh man, I haven't watched it just because we get new episodes Thursday.
Pretty much.
Friday,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting messaged out the ass here. Yeah, I just got it, Dean. Thank you. I think Johnny sent them too.
Yeah.
I'll address your question in a second, Foley. Also joining us this evening, he is the man behind the Dark Match Drive. It's Jared.
Wow, we're still in intros?
I just realized that I didn't get to Mike and Jared, and that's terribly rude. And And we have another guy joining us in a second. He's late, but he's here.
I'm doing pretty good tonight. Just pounding away on shoot interviews on the drive over the past 24
Yeah, but not
hours or so.
podcasts.
I was on my laptop. I wasn't home. I'm home now. I can get to your podcast, okay?
You're supposed to get to him a week ago.
But yeah, I'm doing all right. Just trying to consume as much wrestling as possible. Getting ready for Blood and Guts tomorrow night. Really, real excited for that because last year's was phenomenal. And hopefully
Right
this
up
year...
until it wasn't.
Oh, leave the finish alone.
I meant the after finish.
What?
The Fozzy flop.
Oh, whatever. We're not going to get that this year, I don't think. So, Claudio's not falling off no cage. So
You've got Sammy and Mox in the match. Do you honestly think it's not going to happen?
Oh, God. Sorry, we can't not address this. Jerry says, Sean, spelled it wrong. Oh, how dare you, Jerry? How dare you? Should be sentenced to super chats for life. Sean, have you ever shared your pot with Tommy? I'm having a difficult, hilarious time imagining Tommy be high, but I feel it's something I need to see. Pure entertainment, lads. Tommy, you want to answer this one?
I don't even know how to respond to that one, honestly.
Kidding me? He was
You
up here every night. He was
keep
here.
dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Speaking of stoned and eating cereal, Matt, what's going on?
Hey!
It helps to not be muted when one tries to speak.
He muted himself. I can't unmute him. So
he's just doing his own thing, and then he
salad.
shows up. Poor guy.
Oh, salad. What kind of salad is it, man?
Chicken.
Salad watch.
Like chicken salad,
Not
like
Caesar.
chopped chicken and mayo, or like
Chopped
chicken in
chicken,
a salad.
poppy seed, chopped chicken, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, and poppy seed dressing.
And cereal.
And not cereal. My sugar's low. So
If you have croutons in a salad, does that make it cereal?
I hate croutons.
We could do a whole show on that question.
Jesse says, I've been trying to hop on a stream and catch up with everyone. Pleasure to have you, man. Fun fact, Tommy B and I might have been talking about you earlier. In good ways, though. Good ways. Only good ways. Kidding. I'm kidding. They were all terrible. Kidding again. Anyways.
For a pretzel right now. Now that I'm seeing food questions, I want a pretzel.
I want to get everybody's take on this. Can the music here. And so Blumhouse came out with a new intro attached to the black phone. And to give you an idea how often they have new intros, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, I believe both have different Blumhouse intros. I don't think it's the same intro for both movies. But there was 3 years in between those movies. Thing I'm getting here is there was obviously the rights rumors that were out there. It could be nothing. It could mean something. I'm assuming it means absolutely nothing. But in the new Blumhouse intro, it features Michael Myers, which it's never done before. And his, mortal enemy, the pig. I mean, it's Robert Baratheon's mortal enemy, but I mean, I don't know about Michael Myers. Anybody who's seen the intro, I really like the mood and atmosphere of it. I love the way it's shot. It's very OG Michael-like. Just what's everyone's thoughts on the image specifically? Because this is basically it.
What's supposed to be on the ground? Is that like a black cat?
It's a pig.
Clearly a pig. What kind of... Don't you have a bunch of cats? Do you have any that look like that?
I mean, yeah, because they're fucking fat, but...
Does this mean Blumhouse is rebooting the Babe franchise?
No, Charlotte's Web.
I'm here for it.
Halloween Newsnet says Tommy hates pigs. Man, whoever runs that account. Oof. Iron
It
Man.
wasn't even Halloween news net.
Mike, I'm gonna go to you, man. What do you think of the intro here? And do you think it means anything at all? The fact that the shape is in the new intro. Intros can be put together relatively quickly, so I don't think it means anything. But I have already seen speculation online that this means Michael's not going anywhere and staying with Universal and Blumhouse. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I like the intro. I don't get, but I like the intro.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far either, but honestly, it would be kind of disappointing to make a super dope intro like this and not have it stick around because of, end up losing the rights. So I don't know. I mean, there could be some ground to it, but who knows? I immediately noticed it when I saw the black phone this past weekend, and I thought it was super dope. Really nice all the way through. I like the way that they shot it all the way to the end, to the obviously that house lit up as the H. So thought it was good. So as far as what it can mean, I'm not quite sure. If it's hopefully it's something that can stick around though, because I really really like this intro.
Fucking mute monster every fucking time.
It's even worse because you're not on the screen, so nobody can
I
see
know,
you're
right?
actively
It's sitting
trying
there
to
like,
talk. So it's
Johnny,
just like
hello.
awkward silence for 1,000, Alex.
Johnny, on both fronts, sir. What do you?
I mean, it's nice to see. All it means to me is they have a Halloween movie that's coming out in 4 months. Like I'm sorry, but entrance videos like this mean nothing. They're meaningless. Like, I've been a pro wrestling fan for a very long time, and they have intros like this too, and they can change from a week to week just because somebody's no longer in favor with the company. It's not difficult to cut a frame or edit a frame or remove a person from inside of a frame and change it. Like, that's a Photoshop you can do in an hour.
Yeah, ask Sasha Banks how that goes.
Like, it's not,
Wow.
It's not like it's a full body up close presence taking up, multiple. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, I have to assume that this is a short clip that you only see on screen for like a few seconds at best.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not. It's meaningless. This is something that they could change very easily come whenever they lose their rights, whether that's with distribution of ends or if it's a date after that. I don't know the specifics, but if they can't make a deal to keep the rights in-house, which I'm sure they would like to, I mean, they'd be crazy not to. It's a money-making juggernaut for them, and if the Akkads are willing to let them keep it, I'm sure they'll want to. So it's much ado about nothing. If they keep the rights, he stays in. If they don't, he comes out. That's really all there is to it. Are you muted again?
Yep, son of a bitch. Matt, what's it mean?
I don't get the whole
Pig, right? Why the fuck are we looking at a pig?
I think why wait till the third movie to do this? The final movie, just to have that in your title when you might eventually lose it. It makes no sense. Why wait? So I mean, it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like it a lot, but the feel of it, like you said, the mood and atmosphere of it. But I just don't get why doing it now unless there's something we don't know.
I mean, clearly it I have no idea what it means. I wish I could sit here and be like, yes, though, this is the secret meaning behind Michael looking at, what looks to be a very tiny pig. I have no idea, other than I think it looks cool and it looks eerie, and I love the mood of it all. Tommy, tell us what it all means, man. We know you have the answers.
Doesn't mean a damn thing. Doesn't mean nothing. It means that there's a new Michael Myers movie coming out, and they're going to have this intro for that movie, and this intro could go away right after that movie. Surprise, surprise. the rights to the Halloween franchise is now owned by Nickelodeon. You're going to see Michael Myers on Nick at Night. Is that even a thing anymore?
On what?
Is that even Look,
I
it
think
don't
it
mean
is.
it don't mean a thing. It don't mean a thing.
Is it its own channel now?
Nickelodeon?
No, Nick at Night.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Teen Nick got its own channel. Although they may have.
I thought they
Nick-
spawned that off its own channel in like the mid 2000s. But
I don't
It
know.
I'm
TV's
Canadian. We didn't
dead.
get Nickelodeon.
2022. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, we didn't
Everyone,
get Nickelodeon
just
North
go out
Dakota
there,
until like 2010.
All your
so I
cable
have no idea.
companies tell them, I'm not paying for this shit no more. I'm not using 95% of these channels ever. Subscribe to your streaming services of choice, and that's all you have to do. I see Sean just put me on camera. It's a good thing. I just look like I was stripping down, taking my shirt off, so that's good. Good.
Sorry, man. You were on a rant, and I wanted to give you the floor.
Yeah, I was. You almost just had me in a compromised position too, stripping my shirt off.
I might have just accidentally put a spoiler on screen. Just saying. Be on the lookout for that.
I will tell you one thing. It does kind of remind me of 5 when he's in the woods a little bit.
5?
He wrecks
Like Halloween
right after he
5?
wrecks- Yeah.
Go
Terrible
home.
movie.
Go home. Yeah, that scene. I looked at it again for a second, and I was like, wait a second, that kind of reminds me of Halloween 5. I think Jason Blum heard that was Sean's favorite Halloween movie, so he kind of did it for him.
Oh, man. Fuck you. Jared, what's the meeting, man? Tell us the meeting behind Michael and the Pig.
All right. So, you know that big spoiler that everyone's been talking about for the Halloween movie?
The real one or the fake one?
Well, we're going to find out that Michael talks, and this is the scene. He's going to look down and say, "That'll do, pig, that'll do."
And that's how it ends.
Yep.
It rolls the end credits right there.
But yeah, I think it's just, it's slight promotion that, hey, we've got a Halloween movie coming out in 4 months. And like Tommy said, this might not even be in the opening a year from now, depending on the rights, depending on, if they got another movie coming out, they might leave it in. Or if, Nickelodeon buys it, then, Michael Myers gets covered in slime a year from now. So,
In all
That's all.
fairness, Nickelodeon itself is owned by a bigger entity. What is it? Viacom, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
That's like a subsidiary of ABC.
No, ABC would make it owned by Disney.
CBS,
No.
maybe?
Disney
Yeah.
owns ABC, man.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is CBS.
CBS is Viacom. Viacom, CBS, NBC, Universal, and Disney. They own the 3 major networks.
What's going on, Kevin? Hopefully you're well, man. It's a beautiful picture of you and your family there, dude. Hopefully you're all staying well and enjoying yourself.
Who are we to assume Michael's religion? I mean, maybe he doesn't eat pig.
I'm telling you, he's a Walmart greeter, man. Has salad every day. Coleslaw.
I don't eat a
different.
whole lot of pig. I feel that.
And not like the normal coleslaw, the green slop coleslaw. Michael just eats that.
there's a major difference between a wild pig and a wild boar. If you don't believe me, ask Robin of Locksley.
Before we get to our next topic, by the way, feel free.
I was kind of expecting a proletariat boar of Moldova joke. I'm a little let down. We didn't get one.
I gotta broaden the horizons. Only you would have gotten that joke.
Yeah, but damn it, it would have been a good one.
That's true.
We're gonna take some questions all throughout the show, so feel free to get your questions in. And if you want to support the channel on another level, you can always sign up for Patreon. Head on over there. We got a Lambkin Lane coming up. It might actually be Saturday night this time instead of a Sunday night. So you can check us out over on Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire, or you can send in a super chat and Google will take half of it because that's what they do. Anywho, there was a question I wanted to get to that was in the queue. What happened to it? Oh, Kenny asks, favorite film of 2022 so far, guys? Mine is a tie between The Batman and Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, Spider-Man came out in December, but like if we're going to count like late film releases, like say December film releases, I do think that changes things a bit. What do you have, Mike? What are your favorite couple of films you've seen since December?
Oh man, Top Gun, Black Phone, The Batman, probably top 3 for sure.
Sounds like a solid list. I haven't seen 2 of those 3.
Can I say Thor: Love and Thunder, even though I don't see it until next week?
I mean, no recency bias there, right?
I'd just say, based on the fact it's a Thor movie by Taika Waititi, that it's going to be my favorite of the year.
Matt, you got a favorite, man?
I'm the same way with Mike. Top Gun, Batman, and Black Phone.
Nice. Tommy B, what about you, man? I'm guessing you're a Spider-Man. Or did you like Doctor Strange more? I know you were a big fan.
Didn't Spider-Man and Batman come out in 2021?
We just established that we were going to use December releases in this as well.
Oh, I guess I brain farted. That's a really tough call, honestly. So I don't know how much we actually talked about it on the channel, but yeah, I was all for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange 2 is fantastic. Loved it. Have not rewatched it yet, though. But if I was going solely off of actually 2022, it would easily be Doctor Strange 2. Spider-Man in there challenges it, and Batman challenges it. For my favorite film so far of the year, yeah, I'll go with No Way Home.
Jer, how about you, man? You got any?
So I've been frantically Googling 2022 movies to find one that I've actually seen, because my original pick was Black Roses from 1988 that I watched in February.
I don't think that counts.
So I realized I have seen a 2022 movie, and it is Metal Lords, which is amazing. It is a black metal, heavy metal satire film that is on Netflix that really it's
I was
an
expecting
honest
some
look
kids
at.
movie you went to see with Kate and the kids.
It's tremendous. She throws a like a flute like 10 feet and calls her music instructor a cunt, and it's amazing.
Yeah, by the way, let's get the chat involved in this. Everybody in the chat, I know it was a Kenny question directed to us, but what does everybody think that their best or favorite 1 or 2 films they've seen in 2022 are, or even the end of 2021? Comment and we'll throw them up on screen.
If we're counting December, then I'm definitely throwing No Way Home in there for sure. I don't know what film I would drop out my top 3, but No Way Home for sure was one of the better movies I've seen in a while. So,
Toronto Freddy says Doctor Strange 2 and the Batman are neck and neck for me. I'm glad you like Doctor Strange 2 that much, man. I know you're a big fan of the Batman.
Saturn also picked Doctor Strange 2.
Did he?
Just a bit before that.
All right. Zach, I'll come back to your question in a second, man. Not trying to skip it, just trying to stay.
We got some interesting ones, though.
Tony Rucci, The Batman and the Northman. I have not seen the Northman, but all I've heard from everybody who's seen it is that it's amazing.
Andrew Graziosa picked Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I've heard a lot of things about the first one there. I've not seen it, but a lot of people love it.
Isn't that where we find Johnny at the end of the show?
No. That's Here, There, and Everywhere. That's the sequel.
Doctor Strange 2 and Scream for Saturn. Freddy reiterates his love for Wanda. Ken says he's only seen 5 movies this year, but his favorite 2 are Scream 5 and The Batman. Jade Likes Deep Water. I don't know if that was out this year or not. Was it? Might have been. I don't know. Apollo says, oh no, that's the wrong topic. Sorry. Kevin says he loved The Black Phone, and The Sister was awesome. I haven't heard of The Sister. What's The Sister? Is that a horror movie, Mike?
No, I think he's talking about
A character
sister
in the film.
in The Black Phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was it's a really good film. If anybody has a chance to go see it, it's different, it's suspenseful, and I can say a lot more about it. But to his topic, I thought The Sister was badass in that film as well. So,
Dean Renner says, I guess I have to go with The Batman. I'm not sure I haven't seen many films in 2022 yet. The October says Black Phone and Sonic 2 is the North American Canadian superhero. I've not seen The Black Phone yet, but I know Mike has, and I know Matt has. Mike, you want to give your thoughts on The Black Phone here briefly?
yeah, I mean, I thought it was different. It was a different taste of suspense and horror that I feel like we haven't seen in a long time in the movie theaters. I thought Ethan Hawke did a phenomenal job. He played truly a sociopath. I mean, he dived into his character very, very well. So I was really impressed with his performance. I thought the story was very well paced, had me intrigued the entire time. And the kid actors, I thought the brother and the sister were both phenomenal. Especially the sister, she stuck out as being really, really good in this film. I loved her attitude, the no bullshit that she took. Obviously their home life made you feel a little bit obviously sad for them and everything that they went through, being at home, and then obviously the brother getting kidnapped, and no spoilers, but it was really good. I was really impressed with it. I went in with high expectations, and I was very satisfied. I was happy when I walked out of the theater.
Well, I mean, that's excellent. For mine, my favorite films. By the way, people, if you haven't yet, click that like button, please. Thumbs up helps other people find the stream. You might really want to click the thumbs up button for this video, because from now on, when we ask you to hit the thumbs up button, someone else might be asking you to do it, and it might not come off in the greatest of ways. So, yeah, please click the thumbs up button, and that'll probably be the last nice time we ever ask.
It's bold of you to think he's going to be nice about it.
He definitely isn't at all.
While we've been yakking, I googled The Northman. That movie actually sounds really good.
Oh, it sounds amazing. It's with the dude from
That's Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Some Viking movie. I didn't expect that from the title.
Yeah.
Until I actually saw it, The Fawn. I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, people love that. Freddie says this is a year for Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's getting all sorts of praise right now. Dean says Terrence is going to tell everyone you better hit fucking like buttons. It goes a little something like that. I can't wait. I wish I would have had time to come home today and properly cut up that video. But I did. So
that's not a movie, Freddie. That's a circus.
My favorite movie this.
That's not a movie. That's a circus. The movie will be in about 5 years.
Yeah,
It
probably.
was just a really long episode of Divorce Court.
No.
Yeah, essentially.
I think it was the People's Court.
I
do have to tell you something funny. The new thing, if you got to go pee, it's called an R. Kelly, and if you got to go poop, it's called an Amber Heard. So, code words.
It's not new. That's like 3 months old at this point.
Well, I didn't know if you knew.
I haven't seen X yet. I really, really, really want to see X. But I've heard mixed reviews on it. So, honestly, I have two that stand out above all the rest. My number 2 would be The Batman, which I think is the best comic book movie we've gotten in I don't know how long. But my number one in terms of like just pure enjoyment, Cyrano is amazing. It's the best musical I've ever seen in my life, and hits so many emotional beats. And if you can sit through a musical, or like really good acting, because that movie has it, check that film out. It's very moving. Jason's code words. Code words. All right, so I want to take a minute to address something here. Address a couple of things, then we're going to move on to a little bit of a Halloween debate. So last week we got brought into this Twitter thread. I think that's the proper term for it. Twitter thread by somebody who was saying nice things, and another popular channel took some digs, or so it seems. At least a lot of you guys that have messaged us or messaged me personally about it seemed to take it like that, and then thought that Dave was taking digs. Dave meaning Dave McRae, who's been on the channel and been a supporter of Fandom Empire. So Dave and I just wanted to clear the air, and don't go and bug him about this. He's a busier guy than I am. Dave and I sat down last week just to talk, and we both basically hilariously laughed at how people are somehow taking what he said as shots at us, and he didn't even mean for it to be shot at anybody, period. And people are spinning it that way, and it does come off, reads to some people in a way that's not great. But anyways, I just want to throw this out there. If you're watching content creators, whether it's us or Wham or Dave or Nick Push, Matt Fauci, whoever's got a YouTube channel out there, Solid Saturn. Okay, no, I'm kidding. If you're watching content creators, we understand that you might like certain aspects of their channel, or maybe you love the whole thing. But the worst thing that you can do is try to create a war between content creators. Even if you mean good by it, sometimes the worst things come out of the best intentions. So all I would say is we appreciate the nice things that some people say, but we can fight our own battles. So don't go picking any fights for us. We don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody has time for that, and I can't afford to pay Jared to go kick everybody's ass. So one or two maybe, but not everybody. But yeah, no, honestly, it is what it is. Not every content creator is going to like every other content creator, and so on. Watch who you want to watch. I will still stand up for saying that don't let anybody, no matter how important they think they are or how big their channel is, I think Johnny said something similar to this when we talked about it on the weekend. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do with your channel. What you want to do with your channel is completely up to you. And if nobody else likes it, then kindly tell them to kiss your ass. But yeah, that's all I would say is we're good. We're not trying to go to war with anybody. I know people are trying to sort of push it in that direction. I don't have time for that in my life. So that's a no-go. I will say this. I can't speak for the other 5 people on this show, but I can speak for myself. There was an incident last year where viewers of the channel who, I guess, don't get me wrong, we appreciate everybody who tunes into the channel and views us, and we hope that we offer some form of escapism from life for you guys. But that doesn't mean go find someone's phone number. Don't go messaging them privately on their Instagram. Don't go messaging them privately on their Facebook. If they're putting themselves out there publicly on Twitter, or if you want to message one of our groups like Fandom Empire Now on Twitter. I think Mike has a Twitter that's primarily for like your stuff. Do you not, Mike?
I mean, yeah, it's my personal Twitter that I put everything on. So,
don't go like if we cover something you don't like, or if, something we do pisses you off, that doesn't give you a right to go and harass anybody. And all I'm going to say is there was a situation that happened last year that ended very badly and was partially the cause of someone extremely close to me getting harassed daily. If you don't like our content, fuck off. Don't watch. Leave. We're not asking you to watch if you don't like what we do. If there's someone that fits your entertainment needs better, go watch them. Because coming in here and causing anyone else's life shit isn't cool. That's not a fun thing to do. Maybe it is for you, but we all have lives. When this show goes off air, we all return to our lives. Tomorrow, we will all proceed with our lives. Don't go personally attacking anyone or harassing anybody. It doesn't get you anywhere. I'm telling you right now, if you do it to me or anybody else on the channel, you'll be blocked and deleted and removed from every group, period. It's that simple. I'm kind of irritated that I have to be fucking on here talking about this.
Again?
Well, it literally happened yesterday. Some of you already know about it.
I just mean this topic.
Oh, it's bullshit. It's understand that content creation does not mean invasion of your personal life. And yet some people think they go hand in hand. And they don't. So don't harass anybody. And we're cool. And if you do, well, then fuck you. You're a shit human being. So, anyways, moving on. There was a Halloween topic that was brought to my attention by, I think it might have been Jade in the fandom chat. I know some of you guys are in the fandom chat. I seen someone share something today.
It was Jer.
Oh, it was Jer.
Yeah, Jer posted the pic that started the combo.
It was Jer. Okay, so it basically insinuated that Halloween H2O is better than Halloween 2018. And I think it's a great argument and a great discussion to have because in reality, both are soft reboots of the franchise. You know, the franchise has been soft rebooted 3 times, essentially, if you include the zombie movies. But specifically with those 2 that were received much better than the zombie movies. Halloween 2018, Halloween H2O. What is better and why? And since he's the one that brought it up, he can be the one that starts. Jer.
Halloween 2018. I think it's a better reboot because it feels like it connects the story a lot better from the original. It's a lot more seamless. And we're getting 2 extra movies out of the whole thing, so I'm here for it. Plus, it gives us a lot more stuff to talk about. I mean, I can't imagine us doing a podcast on Halloween H2O for any significant length of time.
Actually, it's one of the first things we did. Johnny
watched along for that.
Yeah, on
many
Facebook.
moons ago.
Facebook.
I remember that thing.
So, right? That was the thing. Mike, how about you, man? I'd love to know where you fall with this between 2018 and H2O.
Oh man, this is tough for me because I love H2O more than a lot of people do. A lot, but I think Jer brought up some great points, like the fact that we got 2 more movies out of it, or obviously the third getting ready to come out. I think you would have to give, man, I don't know. That's tough for me. So what's the question again? Say the question again. So I want to make sure I answer it to the question.
Mike with anyway, it's what is better, 2018 or H2O, just in general?
Just the movie, period.
Yeah, in general, I mean they're both soft movies, but
I would have to go for H2O if we're going movie. But that's just because I like it better. It's the first Halloween movie that I saw in theaters, so there is sentimental value there for me, and a little bit of nostalgia. Obviously, still being a little later. But yeah, I would go H2O for that simple reason. If we're going movie for movie, I personally enjoy H2O better. There's things about 18, obviously, that or H2O that suffers that 18 doesn't suffer from, like the fucking mask. I mean, that's obviously a big one. But you know, there's two of my favorite Halloween movies, Halloween 4 and Halloween H2O. I don't like the mask, so I'm not gonna let that affect it. I'll just go. I'll go H2O and leave it at that.
Johnny, what are you going with here, man?
You know what? This is a tough one. Because it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, I think it was Jade in the chat. Jade posted it that, you know, pointed out that H2O is far more believable from a story standpoint. You know, just comparing the two Lauries, and you know, H2O is far more believable in that regard. I think she made the case that, you know, which one are you going to do? Stay in the same city and prepare yourself, you know, hoping he comes back, or are you going to run away and have PTSD for the rest of your life? You know, and that's valid to me. You know, like, it depends on what you're looking for. Like, H2O to me, it felt more sequel-y than 18. Like, 18 is a full-on, you know, a hard reboot. I wouldn't even call it a soft reboot. It's a hard reboot because it takes everything after 1 and kicks it to the curb. Whereas H2O only kicks, you know, that middle called the Thorn arc out. You know, which, I mean, granted, that's only what, you know, 1 additional film, but still, you know, it was also closer, and I think it all depends on what you're looking for. You know, like
3 additional films.
Only 3?
4, 5, 6.
H2O does not connect to those.
Right, but I wasn't counting 3 because it doesn't connect. So it's, you know, just 1 and 2.
Yeah, basically.
So it's just 1 additional film compared to 18.
So I just want to throw this in there real quick. I see a lot of people when they talk about, like, when I ask them why they hate H2O so much, they'll bring up the mask, but they also bring up they don't like the way Michael was, like, he was supposed to die in H2O and he didn't. And I just try to get it past people's heads, like, that's not an H2O problem. That is a resurrection problem. You're holding a resurrection movie problem about him coming alive, or like switching outfits and stuff. That's a resurrection like movie. That has not. I mean, I'm not going to say it has nothing to do with H2O, but as far as H2O the movie, you can't hold that particular scene against H2O, and I see people do it all the time. That's not H2O. That is the resurrection.
I'm actually on the opposite side of that. I actually liked that because it, you know, sort of gave Michael a bit more depth. You know, like, he wasn't just that, you know, sort of meandering zombie. It actually put some cerebral thought behind him. Like, you know, he could actually pull that off, and I liked that personally.
I mean, I just thought it was the way that it ended with her chopping his head off. That was a good story. That was a good ending for Jamie Lee Curtis's story. Like, that was just good for me. Like, she was in 3 movies. That's perfectly fine. Perfect. You know, that I love. That's one of the reasons why I loved H2O so much. And like I said, people just, and I know you like it, Johnny, but I know a lot of people don't like the way.
No, I understand that. I won't argue with anyone who says they didn't like it. To me, it's like that. It's that TV show that, you know, the writers and the producers all thought, this is it. This is our swan song. This is it. And then the network comes in at the 11th hour and says, yeah, you guys get another season.
Yeah.
You know, where do we, okay, well, we got to, you know, sort of fix this and make it work so that we can keep going for another season. And this is how they do it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Matt, how about you, man? You going with?
This is a really hard question because there's so much stuff about each one I like. But one of the gripes I did have about H2O, was where was he for 20 years? At least with 18, we knew. What did we think? He just stood around? I mean, hung in that under Lampkin Lane for so many years? We didn't know. I do, and that's where I think the story itself, all around. I mean, yeah, in reference to what Johnny was saying, 40 years later, PSD can still affect somebody, and from stuff that happened years ago. And I think that is just as realistic as her trying to get away from her past. But she allowed the PSD to consume her, and deep down inside, like she always knew he'd come back sooner or later. And I think on some level, Lori from 2008, 2000, H2O did too. I mean, I think if you want to go gripe about the mask, I mean, like Ford's majority of our favorite ones up there, or is up there, and the mask wasn't that good. But God, if I think my lean is ever so slightly H2O.
Wow.
But from day to day, I could go back and forth.
Interesting.
I do want to say real quick that they are like side by side in my rankings as far as Halloween films. I think H2O is number 4 for me, and 18 is 5.
I'm probably something like that too.
I like a lot of the H2O cast. I just don't like the tone of the movie at all. Kevin says only 17 likes. That's not what I see. It's weird. I got 39 on my end.
I see
I got
38
38.
on mine.
So click that
I
like
might want to refresh.
Yeah, click the like button. It helps. Want to know who tells you to click the like button? Terrence tells you that soon. But yeah, click that like button. Tommy, H2O or H18, man?
Funny, we're actually discussing this tonight. I was just talking with a coworker about H2O today.
Oh,
And the reason that happened is because she mentioned that Josh Hartnett was her childhood crush. I countered by saying Josh Hartnett really got screwed over. He should have been in the next film. That's just my opinion. No. Easily 2018 for me. I am not an H2O hater. I legitimately enjoy the film, really do. 2018, I just don't see the stuff that so many people really dislike that makes people hate the film, because there are plenty of people who hate the film. I see a film that I enjoy, and I see it done in 2018. We're talking 20 years between these two movies. There was a lot of time for technology improvements and such.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing. Just the way it looks, right? I mean, guess what? If you watch Star Wars: A New Hope today, even like the remastered version, doesn't look all that great. It just, things have a hard time holding up. I'll be honest. I think Halloween 4 holds up better than the original Halloween movie does in terms of just the way it looks and feels on film still. But I know that I'm in the extreme minority on that front. For me, it's 2018. I think it's just a much better film. I think the acting performances in it are far and above H2O. I think the soundtrack, that's a huge deal. Carpenter's soundtrack compared to whatever that shit show was for H2O. Oh man, music can be a maker or a breaker, and for H2O, for me, it's a breaker. So did everybody get a vote here? I feel like we did. We all voted.
I think so.
Music is a brawn breaker for me.
It's even, right? 3 H2O, 318.
I think so.
Interesting. Maybe if I know Kieran said he might pop on after he's done with this thing, but he'll be the decider on that front. Lots of back and forth in the chat too. I was posting some of them up on the screen as we were all going through it. I want to highlight another Kenny question though, because I think it's a good one. Which Halloween film do you think before 2018 came out killed the franchise?
5.
That's easy. 5.
5.
I'm going Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I mean, it sort of depends on how you look at them, because like each of the soft resets, sort of create their own canon, right? So, I mean, if you're talking like as a whole, probably Rob Zombie 2, because the first one was good, and then the second one was just so far off the rails, it was ridiculous.
I would say 2 now that I'm thinking about it as well. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I loved 4, hated 5. I've really grown to really like 6 for what it is. For some, I don't know what it is, but ever since I've watched it the past few years, I've just grown to really like 6. And then I love H2O, and then that movie came out after that. And then obviously Rob Zombie's Halloween, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I can watch it. And then just 2, it's just I think that's probably the Halloween movie that I cannot watch.
Oh, see, I can watch it, like I've said 100 times on here. I like just guilty pleasure of how cringeworthy it's entertaining.
If you're watching like in that category, it's so ridiculous. Train wreck viewing is acceptable because you're watching it because it's a train wreck. You want to turn away, but it's like, no, this is just too awful.
That Halloween 2 is close to Resurrection for me. I mean, both of them are really bad. Like as far as not being able to watch it, I was laying in bed the other day, and I think Resurrection is on some streaming, and I put it on, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go. Can't do this.
So which one had the baby in the opening and the
H6? But there's 2 different versions of that movie that are both quite different.
Okay, because I was like 11 years old and I ordered that on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view when it first came out, and I thought it sucked then. So that's where I'm at on that one.
Yeah, I thought it did too, but for some reason, man, I've grown to really like that movie.
That producer's cut. Every time I watch
it. Producer's cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole
I'll give it a
different
rewatch now that I'm older.
More Loomis too. Who doesn't want more Loomis? So yeah, that's exciting shit. Exciting shit. For me, it's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 though, because I think that came out 2009, so like almost a decade in between movies, longest they've ever been. And the reason for it is the reception was so bad, and they left themselves in such a terrible spot that they tried so many. Like there was like 3 different takes, or 2 or 3 different takes on continuations from Zombies movies. One of them surrounded Halloween 3D, which thank God they didn't make. And then the other one, I don't remember off the top of my head, but they also had Halloween Returns, which a lot of people like the script, but the movie never got made. But I mean, that happens a lot in Hollywood. Yeah. So like there were several attempts to reestablish the franchise during that time, and it took them almost a decade, which it's never taken them that to bounce back into a different story and a different timeline. And I won't lie, I'm sure there's some fear about what happens after Halloween ends for them as well. So
yeah, I mean,
Halloween 2 for me.
Yeah, like I said, I thought H2O, the way it ended, was a good way to end Jamie Lee Curtis's storyline, Laurie Strode's storyline, but obviously that's not the way that it went. So
I like Brandon's point here. Well, before Jamie came back, Halloween H2O was going to be straight to VHS. So it was dead before that. You're right. H6 was received so terribly.
Speaking of people coming back, anybody hear the Nev Campbell news that's floating around out there?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. Fill in the crowd.
Oh, they're saying that they got her to sign back on.
What?
Yeah. Nothing official yet, but you kind of knew that was coming, though, right?
I was gonna say, did we not all sit on here on this channel and say, is all a very nice negotiation tactic too. If her role was only 4 days, there's still time to fix that. And if they did fix it, good.
But from what I heard, it was a real money issue. Like that wasn't a lie. Like they really screwed her over in a sense. So, I mean, I guess not now, but
see,
from what I heard, there's supposedly
don't go into spoiler territory.
I don't know spoilers, but I don't think she has a major role in this one. Maybe less than what we saw her in Scream earlier this year, but it's setting up for her to have a much bigger role in 7.
I think I saw that somewhere too. But we'll see.
Dean says he doesn't buy it. I haven't heard it from anywhere reputable yet. This is the first I've heard about it, so I don't know where Mike.
No, I haven't heard it from anybody reliable yet either. It's just been floating out there, so it's just something I would keep an eye on.
It'd be cool if they do fix that.
I mean, it's something I wouldn't be shocked if she came back, obviously. But we'll see. It's just something to keep an eye on.
We'll definitely watch that, and maybe we'll have an opportunity to discuss it more next week. Would a Halloween TV series be the worst thing in the world for the franchise? No, I don't think so. I think they have a Season of the Witch, movie sitting there that is pretty damn good, in my opinion, that literally lends itself to be like this perfect, 8 or 10 part series, either old or a sequel to it.
And Friday the 13th did 3 seasons of a TV series, so it's doable.
Did they?
Of all of the pyramid of major slasher franchises, Halloween's the only one that's never had a TV series. Friday the 13th had Freddy's Nightmares in the early 90s.
Nightmare, you mean?
No, Freddy's Nightmares was the name of the series.
For a Friday series?
For Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, okay, you said Friday. All right.
No,
I've never seen this Friday series. I don't know if I've even heard of it before.
Yeah, it's okay. It's really weird. So it uses the same logo. This was for like late 80s. And there's a shop owner. It's basically the Stephen King story Needful Things, essentially. A whole bunch of stuff in his shop is haunted and it's been given away to people, and then these 2 people have to go find this haunted item and bring it back. It has very, very, very slight references to Jason. Otherwise, it is completely removed from any typical Friday the 13th stuff we remember it for.
So I totally want to just come out and say that's fucking stupid. Why'd they call it Friday the 13th? But at the same time, I like Season of the Witch, right? But also, I feel like Season of the Witch should have just been called Season of the Witch at this point in time. Like if they did make a series or they did a remake of the film, I would hope they did not call it Halloween.
Oh, they'll call it Halloween.
They'll try
so
and
they
suck
can get a
people in
new
just like they
generation
did
of
back
people to fucking hate it, I guess.
Exactly.
Apollo wants to know, when will the new Scream Factory Halloween films cover art be released? Well, the rumor is
when they get around to it.
Look who just showed up. Kieran is in the chat, and funny enough, Kieran, we just had a 6-person vote on something, and it tied 3-3. If you end up popping on to be the deciding vote,
he's out the side for him. He's going 18.
Yeah, the vote was whether we want Kieran on here or not tonight. So,
but yeah, no. Apollo wants to know when the Scream Factory Halloween films cover art will be released. I believe with last year's 5 movies, they leaked, and then they were officially released shortly after. Dean would know more on that front than me. And the rumor is we're getting 6, H2O, and Resurrection, I believe. And I don't know when, but I hope that they mimic the covers that we got last year so that when you have them, you can set them all together and they all look like they go together. I would think it'd be a bad idea to now change the cover art from what you just did a year ago, but that's just me. All right, fellas. In the meantime, I wanted to take a second before we get Mike and Tommy out of here to talk about movie theaters. I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite places to go. Seeing a movie is fantastic. However, I think we can all agree it doesn't take much to make a movie theater experience bad. So it's really easy to
Those damn concession prices. Holy shit! Next thing with all this inflation, they're gonna want like $10 for a small soda and $15 for a small popcorn.
I just smuggle the popcorn in.
I was about to say you better find a girl to go with so she can pack that shit
I'm
in her
gonna
purse
totally-
and pulling out.
I'm gonna totally
Double
ruin Sean
cheeseburgers.
here.
Wait, they use a
Because-
purse?
When I'm up in Canada, what we keep saying almost a year ago now.
nuts.
I say let's go and get some candy or something. Is that a little dishonest? Yeah, it's a little dishonest, but also movie prices, that's just expensive. This guy up here, that direction.
Mike, how dare you? Mike wasn't even here.
He's pointing through Mike.
Looks at me like I am a criminal.
Well, I mean, we're Canadian, Tommy. We don't do things like that.
Canadian. I'll have you know, everyone I talk to who may say, you know that Canadian stereotype where they're all nice people? No, they're bigger assholes than me.
We're just more polite about being assholes.
Let's keep this on the realistic side of things. Like, come on.
So when we talk about let's just bring movie candy into the movie or popcorn into the movie or something, I don't know. I was like having a whole existential crisis here, thinking like, is this just something I was taught? Is this something nobody else does? Am I really the asshole, as they say on Reddit?
Nah, bro.
Am I the asshole?
It costs you half as
Nope.
much up here with your American dollars.
Dude, Tommy, I went and saw Top Gun again the other day, and I took me a Subway sub in there and ate it. I don't give a damn.
Fucking great.
I mean, how?
What you mean? How it was pouring down, raining, and I put it in my North Face jacket, walked in.
Okay.
Sat
See,
down.
that's different. Okay, that's a different visual. Like raining. Like if you'd have said this was the winter, I'm thinking like Top Gun. It's a nice day. You probably shorts and a t-shirt. Where the hell do you hide a sub with raining, wearing a jacket?
You tie it to your
In
inner
my
thigh.
pants, my foot long.
I mean, I'd have been a bit more fancy. I would have tied it to an umbrella and walked in with the umbrella. They wouldn't look at that.
Oh my god.
The weirdest one I've ever seen at a movie theater is Johnny and I used to go to school with a guy named Jared. I think actually Kieran might have known him too.
Who?
Jared.
Ah.
I don't want to say his last name on air.
Right. No, I know who you mean. I
Uh,
mean, I assume I know who you mean. The
Yeah.
our age one or the younger
Jared
one?
P.
Okay.
Jared P. So him, Cody, and I are going to see Digimon the movie in theater.
Thank you for dating us.
And this is like before you could go get like pizza at the movie theater. Famous players did not have pizza at the movie theater. Not a full pizza anyway. They,
Okay.
get a
I'm sure they had slices by that point.
So Jared buys a Bigfoot. For those of
Wait,
you
what size of Bigfoot? Now I'm
it's the
concerned.
normal 20-piece Bigfoot. It's still a long so the box is like this, guys. It's not super wide, but it's like this. And he has one of those like the puffy jackets. You might actually remember it, John. He used to wear it to school all the time, the yellow and black one.
I was going to say, it was okay, yeah, I remember it.
So the guy puts this 20-piece pizza underneath the puffy jacket, and he's walking into the movie theater like this, but his one arm's like trying to tuck the pizza in, and it's September. And Cody And I just, we're so getting kicked out. And
Just stand
we
far
did.
enough away from him that if he gets tossed, you're not with him.
No, we didn't. We ate the pizza and it was fucking delicious.
Well,
but,
sure, once he gets it through the door. I'm saying, like until he gets through the door, just stay far enough away and be like, nah, I'm not with him.
that was my probably the weirdest movie theater experience I've ever had. But I love the theaters and I love going. One of my first movie experiences I don't know if it was first, but we were young, probably about 11 years old, I think. I went to this guy's birthday party. I won't recap the event that happens after the movie, as I've done that enough on there. 10 then. 10. I thought that was 99 for some reason. But
I'm pretty sure it was 98.
You're probably right. But we seen a Pokemon movie in theaters in 98. And
98.
yeah, it was a really cool experience because a bunch of our friends were there and they had these giveaways and we got to play in a video game arcade. And I remember when I was younger, not every movie theater had a video game arcade, so going to one that did was cool. It was like the thing to do. So that was a lot of fun. How about you, Mike? Any movie theater experiences that you love, man?
I would say my best movie experience ever would be The Dark Knight. I saw it twice in the theater, so definitely The Dark Knight. I just remember going with my dad and my friend, and it was just absolutely awesome. To be honest with you, I mean, it's actually hard to put into words. So I would say going to see The Dark Knight was probably my best experience. And then as far as horror, my best experience in a theater for a horror movie was The Conjuring. That was really good in the movie theaters. I thought the jump scares were perfectly timed, unexpected. It was just a really, really good overall film that's one of my favorites till this day. And a lot of that, I wouldn't say a lot of it, but some of that does have to do with that first time seeing it and my movie theater experience for sure.
What do you got first, Jer?
All right, so I've got two. One, not for the context of the movie itself. I hated the movie, but my mom and my aunt, I think, took me to see Titanic. And
whoa! You hate the Titanic?
At the time, I was like 13 and couldn't give a shit.
Okay, I'm gonna go back on mute.
No, I didn't see my dad very often at the time. So I'm sitting in the movie theater watching the movie, and we're like 10 minutes in, and all of a sudden this guy puts his feet up on the seat beside me. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I look over, and my dad had snuck into the movie theater, and I got to hang out with him and watch the movie. So that was cool. For horror, for me, it's probably Resident Evil Apocalypse, only because I was in Pickering that day and I was able to locate the Dawn of the Dead 4-disc box set with my Christmas money. So I was on a high that day because it's one of my favorite horror movies. And I wasn't against the Resident Evil movies, but I really enjoyed them on first viewing, and I thought they were really cool. So that was probably one of my cooler movie theater experiences because I just, and I was with a couple friends. So, I got to pick up my favorite horror movie and go see a horror movie. So I was thrilled. It was a good day.
I think Sean died. Tommy B. Somebody go.
Johnny, you're next.
Okay.
I had the mute monster. Now I had to have the fucking mute monster. Sean couldn't have it. I'm just here talking to the screen like, hi, I'm talking. Please don't interrupt me. Well, shit.
We are just having a special.
Johnny, I'm itching to know what you had. What's your favorite theater experience?
This is definitely Pokemon because he cried during that M2M song.
It is.
Don't play me here. That's a rough scene.
I mean, I do remember the movie, like Sean said, because it was, my birthday that year. But that's not a particular best one. I think for me, the weird part about it is I don't even remember what I saw. I remember what my brother went to see, but I can't remember what I went to see. It was 2000. It was the summer of 2003. It was the first time I got to go to a movie by myself, but not actually by myself. Yes, I was, 13, 14-year-old me going on a date. First time I got to go to a movie solo, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the movie was. Which is weird, because I can remember what my brother went to see simultaneously. I mean, he went to see SWAT with a friend of the family, but I can't remember what movie I went to see, which is weird. Like, I think it might have been maybe Bad Boys 2 or Tomb Raider. I think that was the Tomb Raider movie was that summer. Might have been the second one. I didn't go see the second one in theater, though. It's the first one. But I cannot remember what the movie was, but it was summer of 2003 and set off a course of, dating this one person for off and on for many years. We saw a lot of movies together. First 3 Harry Potter movies, just it was the movies I saw when I was young on dates. Those are the ones that stand out. I can't remember all of them because who can? But those ones because it's your first taste of freedom, right? You're in the movie theater by yourself or accompanied by, a friend.
Worked well for Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, buddy.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, what did you and Pee Wee go see the same movie? You couldn't remember.
No. It's just there's just so many of those movies. I remember going to see The Longest Yard with a couple of buddies I had, back in high school, and leaving right from school to go to the movie theater at the mall to see The Longest Yard on opening night because we just decided that was the thing we had to do that night. What the fuck is this?
Oh God!
Apologies. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's it for me. It's those first ones, those first taste of freedom movies when you finally get to go to the theater by yourself.
Is everybody gone?
No, still need Tommy and Matt.
So I'll just make it quick and easy because I've said it before a few times. Best theater experience I've ever had. The midnight premiere. Back when midnight premieres were a thing, I'll add. Nowadays we get the premiere at 3:00 the day before the actual
Thank God for
movie.
that.
Yeah. It's when I'm seeing Thor. But Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. I was a kiddo at the time. Cousin, more like an uncle to me. And now his ex. They took me, and my mom went with us because I guess she said you're too fucking young, or some shit. Afraid I was gonna, get into certain trouble or whatever. It was a magical experience. Everyone was all excited. Everyone was having it. Yeah, folks dressed up. I dressed up a little bit, as much as a little kid's gonna do. And it was an altogether great time. I'll admit not necessarily a close runner-up, but I had a pretty damn good time a year ago seeing Kills with y'all. Some of y'all, it's been. Besides then, I can't picture the last time I've seen a film with more than one or two other people. So, yeah.
Isaiah, thanks for the super chat, man. That means a lot. Truly appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Tommy, you being here was the best part of that, man. I mean, you came all the way from down there. It was a blast. You and I have obviously had words privately that'll stay private, but it was a blast, and I'm sure we'll do it again one day. It's just not going to be for Halloween ends. So, yeah.
However, as you have mentioned, that theater could have done better with that audio.
Yeah, whatever that was wrong with that screen was just horrible. It was so painfully noticeable.
I was so confused when I saw Tommy at the movie theater at first because I had checked his Facebook previously and saw that he was from the States. So when I see him in person, like my brain malfunctioned for a second. It was like, wait a minute, he came up here for really cool.
Yeah, but I had to come back because I'd probably have the Canadian equivalent of ICE coming after me, and just don't need that. Probably wouldn't look very good.
Oh, coming up here and saying hockey sucks in the middle of a shopping mall, your first time in Canada is probably not the greatest way to go about it. But
wait till you start growing moose antlers.
All you had to do was say, "I'm American. Don't make me go back." We probably would have kept you.
One of the first things I did, one of the first people I talked to since I crossed the border, cashier at a Tim Hortons. She gets pissed off at me. I'm telling you. Fucking stereotype that you Canadians, that you people are nice people. Complete bullshit.
Tommy, are the people who work in coffee shops in the States nice?
People who are pissed off in the States are the people who work in the postal service.
Tommy didn't make the reference I was going to.
Kieran is telling the truth here. First,
I remember that.
That Tommy was, you have legs. It was good.
What was the reference you thought I was going to make?
I don't know.
The postal service being angry.
Service is always angry. They're always pissed off. No. Whenever I interact with a coffee shop person, they tend to be in a. I'm not going to say they're happy and giddy because they're working, right? I mean, who the hell is often? But they're pretty chillaxed. It's an easy enough job, except when you got people being douchebags about it. But it's all good.
We're gonna get the Matt's theater experience and then outro Mike and Tommy. But before we do, because I know Mike's such a big fan of this next guy, and Matt's getting bumped in favor of him. Terrence has a message for everybody.
Well, what is it? We're waiting.
Oh, it doesn't actually let you see how far you go on this. That's not good. I might not have the message then. Oh, yes, never mind. We're good.
I like Terrence like this. He's less annoying.
He's quiet.
I'm surprised the aquarium didn't keep him.
Some of his facial movements kind of remind you of It's Pat, the movie.
Jesus Christ.
You know what the problem with this network is? People like fucking Jeremy coming on here, taking Terrence's spot. Have you heard that guy's jokes? Sure, he's got a good one. Once every fucking 1,000, he just fucking throws him out there.
You got a retort, Jer?
I'm very concerned because I agree with Terrence.
My batting average is definitely 1 for 5, not 1 for 1,000.
200 hitter.
He's not a 200 hitter.
Uh,
He's maybe like a .07.
I'm Mike Judge on the Yankees over here, all right?
oh, wait, who?
He's trying to make an Aaron Judge joke, but make himself seem funny by making it a Mike Judge joke. Mike Judge doesn't play for the Yankees. He plays for MTV.
Yeah.
I mean, I played foot hockey with a Mike Judge and ball hockey with a Mike Judge. Anyways, Terrence has another message, and this time it's to everybody who. All right, Matt, that's cool. It's to everybody who hasn't clicked the like button yet.
It is fucking press it.
I went a little too far.
It's a fucking button. It is fucking press it. It looks like this. It's a thumbs up. Don't you like this shit? Are you just wasting your time watching us on here? You're like, I'm just going to fucking waste my life trolling this channel. Then I can steal their sources and worry about them the sources on. And then I'll just fucking go on my channel and post about what people said on Twitter about their sources, because getting the source third hand is the only way to do it. Is that what this is? People are complaining about sources? It's not our fault that you don't have any fucking friends. Jesus Christ.
Thanks for Terrence for stopping by.
I'm concerned.
Someone needs
I
a
agree with Terrence
Snickers.
again. What the hell is wrong with this world?
Sorry, say that again.
Me or him?
No, you. I lost you there.
I said, what the hell is going on with this world? I, again, agree with Terrence. I'm very concerned.
You're getting that doomsday clock, people.
What's next? Cats and dogs living together? Mass hysteria?
Wait, you
Oh my
agreed with the
God,
first
right.
part of his video?
Yes. You're terrible at jokes.
Oh.
I mean, it's bad enough his football team's a joke, but we're not going there.
Yes. I
He's
can't.
better than his football team. His jokes occasionally hit.
My hockey team never does, so whatever.
God, I'm
My joke's
so here for
caught it.
these jokes.
Yeah, I don't have sports success. I'm a Sixers, Titans, and Leafs fan. Yeah. Anyways, Matt, theater experience, man, and then we'll get you guys out of here.
Well, my first movie theater experience was Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I actually saw that in the movie theater.
How old were you?
Shows my age.
How old were you?
10.
Oh man, were you scared shitless?
No.
Oh.
Who took you to
I didn't
see
think that
a
one's that
Nightmare on
scary.
Elm Street movie as a 10-year-old?
Yeah. I've always been able to watch horror movies.
He was on stilts in
My
a
mom
trench
watched them,
coat.
so I was... But craziest, my other one's a crazy experience where Michael know where this is. You know the Bird, right? You been to the Bird Theater?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
have
I
heard
got
that
locked
the
in
bird
there
is the word.
overnight.
Who's got the cell phone from 1998?
That's called a landline, folks.
They still have
Who has
those?
a landline?
What's your favorite scary movie?
My parents are old. They still have a landline. I deal with it.
Wow, dude, that's incredible though that you got to go see that in theaters. Like my first Halloween movie in a movie theater was Rob Zombie's Halloween. I hate to admit it.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, that was my first Halloween movie in a movie theater.
My
I've
first
seen
Halloween
more
movie in a movie
stints.
theater was Kills, so
I've seen Zombies 1 and 2 and 18 and Kills and Halloween 1, and I've seen a special showing of Halloween 2. I've never got to see Halloween 4 yet. One day that's got to happen for me.
The first one I saw in the movie theater was 6.
Nice. I was about to say, was it the producer's cut? But no, it wasn't.
No.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for 3 of our 6-some tonight, or Johnny Orgy, however you want to look at it. Matt,
I told you I'm not partaking in an orgy with you guys.
where can everybody find you at, Matt?
Twitter, I'm Matty Whitfield. I'm on Facebook. You can find me on Matthew Whitfield. So, and then I'm in the chat rooms from time to time.
Tommy B.
I am floating around Facebook. I'm playing with Twitter again. I've been off for a while. Instagram at TommyB1650.
Let me just put this out there for the world universe to see. Hang on. Tommy B could play Larry David in the Curb Your Enthusiasm prequel. Come on. I'm just saying, he could.
Holy
I can
shit.
see it.
He'd make
I can
billions.
see it.
I'm just totally 100%. Tommy, you'd love Curb. You and Amanda need to watch Curb, man. You guys would love it.
I've seen bits and pieces several years ago, and I enjoyed what I saw.
I don't know if it would work. Tommy's hairline isn't nearly far enough back.
True, it's got a ways to go, but if he has
don't you wish that on me?
I'm not. I'm saying your hairline is too
get
good.
Real fucking nasty in about a minute.
I'm saying your hairline is too
it
good.
goes
to be young
bad
Larry
in my
David.
family. Don't fucking wish that. Don't you manifest that.
I
talk to you like I talk to my cat. No.
Mr. Bish, where can everybody find you at, man? What do you got going on with the podcast?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at MichaelBish_ and on Instagram at mbish_. And I had Sean on last week. If you haven't been able to listen to it, go listen to it. It was really good, really fun to kick back. Take One podcast on all podcast platforms. And this week I have Braden Timmons coming on.
Nice.
So,
nice. Good guy. Yeah, good dude.
It'll be good. So.
Good dude. Well, we will catch you guys later. There you have it. 3 of the 4 are now gone. And actually, I will be gone now for a few minutes. I got to let the dog out. Fellas, take it away. AEW Forbidden Door.
Wow. That's
Yeah, he just leaves us to the wolves, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No
prepping either. Like, just here you go, talk.
I mean, the show only went 3 hours and 45 minutes, so that's a compliment as far as the show is concerned.
It felt shorter than that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I was tired when the buy-in started, and I was already feeling like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make this. And all the way through to the end, I was wide awake. I popped a lot.
I jumped for some of those false finishes in the Orange Cassidy match.
Yeah, they got me on some of those. I think every match got me to jump for a false finish at least once or twice. I
think the structure of the card was really well done because it gave you something different each time out. Tanahashi and Moxley was very different from Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. It was different from the 6-man. It was different from the 4-way. And each match was good in its own way. It didn't try to... Actually, in a way, it was kind of built like an old ROH card, where every match had their own thing, but it kept trying to kind of outdo the match before it. And even from the opening 6-man, I was like, holy shit, Shota Yumino is having a star-making performance here. And you knew there was no way that the Jericho Appreciation Society was going to lose. But even then, I'm thinking like, holy shit, they might put this kid over. And even within the context, it would make no sense at all. But they built it so well that when Jericho finally hits the Judas effect, you're thinking, shit. So he isn't going to get the win. I wonder what. Actually, speaking of that, I wonder if they might swap his excursion out away from England and more to the States now, because they did the fireball angle halfway through the show. And are they just going to write him off with a fireball and just send him back to New Japan?
It's not unfathomable to think that. But it was definitely... It was a star-making experience on this side of the pond. I'm not a huge Shota fan. I haven't been. But, he's still a young guy. He's still on his excursion. So, you're not supposed to be a fan of him yet, Like, you can see the potential there, but...
He looks like Tanahashi's kid.
I made that point in the chat.
Yes.
For considering he's actually Red Shoe's kid, he looks absolutely nothing like his father.
Yeah.
But, he definitely... It was a great night to be a young a young lion in New Japan, even just to be on that card. You know, I mean, Shota got the shot because of his association with Moxley, and obviously, they got kind of lucked into that. Jericho beating the crap out of him at Wrestle Kingdom a few years ago. So it just sort of paid off in spades both ways because he fit, both as a partner and as an opponent. So it worked. And then, Clark Connors, he
came out of left field.
He had a star-making experience. I had no chance. Like when he was coming in, I thought he was going to be just fodder.
And for the first 7 minutes, he absolutely was. He got the shit kicked out of him by Miro for a good 7 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay, well, there's his purpose. He's going to eat the fall.
Yeah.
And then he makes his comeback, and you're like, holy fuck, the crowd is into this guy.
There was actually a point there where I thought they might just shock the world here and put the belt on him. And I actually would have been okay with that. That whole match shocked me from start to finish because, obviously, when we did our predictions last week on Saturday, when we did the little pop-up show on the weekend, none of us, not a single one of us, thought there was a snowball's chance in heck that the bastard was going to win that belt.
No,
it was Miro. He was going to win.
He's always been the bridesmaid, right?
Exactly. There was no debate. There was no discussion. Like I think we all sort of had that. I'd like to see Pac win it, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Miro's redemption tour after the injury,
and he goes out there and he gets that moment, and it was great.
Yeah,
and I loved it, and I loved the belt on him. It looks nice.
I mean, I'm hoping it's finally a cap on the Malachi Black thing. Like they need to spend the next 2 years apart from each other, but
I hope so, because we did finally see sort of the brookings of a new feud last week, starting with, La Facción Ingobernable starting up with the Lucha Brothers, which I am here for that.
Oh, that'll be fun as hell.
I really hope that the Facción Ingobernable spells the end of the Andrade family office, because it was fine for a transition piece for Matt Hardy, but it doesn't have proper legs for Andrade to really. It's going to hold him back more than anything. None of the people in that stable fit Andrade's image. It made sense with Matt Hardy because you had Private Party who were sort of following up a sort of that next Hardy Boys style team. That made sense. The Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny, they all kind of made sense for a period. But then it sort of reached a point where they were just like sort of thrown in there sort of as a okay. And then there was the guy who was always on Dark, whose name I can't remember.
I forget. Yeah, I forget his name too.
He showed up like outside the ring at a few pay-per-views, and everybody was like, "Who is this guy again?"
Yeah, and he wasn't there for any major angles or anything. He just kind of was off in the peripheral. And
it's a stable that served its purpose, and then should have been faded. If there's one complaint I have about Tony Khan's booking so far, is that he holds on to stables like Sacred Cow.
Yeah, like that. The Brady Rhodes stable with
oh brother, that one was that's probably the only one that they actually realized this is not good.
That only lasted less than a month.
Less than that. And
okay, this is dead on arrival, let's ship that out.
I mean, her and Kong were together for a while, but then they added Luther, they added the Serena Deeb 2.0, who's the chick who shaved her head, whose name I can't remember, and then within a month, the stable was dead. But, every other stable that they've had that's been important has been held on to far too long. I mean, the Inner Circle should have broken up at least 6 months before it did.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of split off and did their own little thing, and then they came back together. It's like, hey, we're still here. We're going to cut a promo. It's like
that was the problem, right? There were so many natural points where they could have just gone their separate ways and still sort of kept that loose-ish affiliation like, other stables in the past have done. Like, prime example, Dangerous Alliance in the early 90s, right? They split up, but some of those guys still sort of kept, sort of a loose affiliation with each other.
Yeah, it's like they forgot about it until they decided one day, oh shit, we should probably break up the Inner Circle. Let's get them back together for a couple weeks so people remember they're together.
And
they
now
did
we're
the
at a
split
point
with
where it's like,
Santana.
did we really break up the inner circle, or did we just kick out Santana and Ortiz?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, I nothing against Santana and Ortiz, but I do think Parker and Matt are and Garcia are upgrades.
Oh, they're a much better fit. You know,
Yeah,
with
exactly.
how
For
they're
what Jericho is,
Mhm.
I thought Santana and Ortiz really stuck out in a bad way. Like they're fine. If they're doing Anarchy in the arena or a street fight or stadium stampede, they're your guys. But as far as a week in and week out, I mean, they were so far pushed to the back in that stable. It's like they barely existed.
Yeah, I mean, there was a large period of time where, you know, the inner circle tag team was Les Sex Gods. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they were the ones getting title shots. And, you know,
Doing the
but
angles and getting
you've got Santana and Ortiz. Like that's a top tier tag team just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
you
you'd
know,
see them on
like-
Dark every week, and that's a waste of their talents.
Oh, very much so, and they are supremely talented. I mean, they still are. I mean, Santana's showing that, you know, off in the Indies, doing a match here and there, you know, reminding everyone that yeah, we can go, we're good, still good.
Remember the pop when they debuted it All Out?
Oh yeah,
All In,
and
whatever the
then
hell it
you know
was.
when the inner circle was formed on the first Dynamite.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
know, like they had it's been a perfect example of start, stop, their entire run.
yeah,
You know, hey, they'd get an angle with you know, the Young Bucks and get a title shot. It's a 2-week thing, and then they're back to being forgotten for 6 months.
Mhm.
You know, I was hoping that with this Eddie thing, it might, you know, work out well for them, and I'm hoping it does. But I mean, man, like they're already overshadowed by the guys they're with.
they need this. They need tomorrow night to just end it. You know, there can't be any more, you know, inner circle versus,
Yeah,
you know, these guys. Like, I don't want them staying in the feud with the Blackpool Combat Club or with, you know, Eddie and Santana and Ortiz. I want them all to just go do their own thing. I mean, let's be honest. You already see in the building that, you know, Eddie and Claudio are going to dance, and it's going to be glorious. Yeah, we're going to get the blow off we didn't get 10 years ago. You know, which is a great thing, because that feud was phenomenal. You know, at a period in Chikara where, you know, it was the top indie for a good period there.
Yeah.
You know, and it just, you know, yes, it died a horrible, painful, slow death, but, you know, at its peak, it was arguably the best storytelling in professional wrestling. You know, I mean, you had angles that would take 5-6 years to pay off, you know, but they would pay off in the end. I mean, it was the only sort of yearly, I almost want to say territory, because that's kind of more like they were, you know, where you
they
would
were in
have
Northeast territory.
exactly, you know, where they would have, you know, their yearly storylines, their yearly angles, but there'd still be things that carry over, and they'd be damn good things too. I mean,
Well,
you know,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you would remember them. They would expect you to remember these angles going forward, and that is something that wrestling fans have been conditioned out of. The expectations have been lowered so much that we're not looking for stuff that happened 2 years ago, because it doesn't matter. You know, these threads that
you can't remember what happened 2 years ago.
exactly.
Whereas Chikara at its peak, you can remember what happened 2 years ago.
Yeah,
because it's paying off now. You know, like, I mean, the Chikara special, that was a storyline that, you know, was like 4 years.
yeah.
You know, building up to the, you know, the first Kings of Wrestling and Mike Quackenbush feud, and was it Shane Storm sold the, you know, the reversal to the Chikara special to Chris Hero, and
Yeah.
you know, turned one of the top baby faces into a heel in 2 seconds just by finding out he was the one that sold the reversal to the Chikara special. You know, like it was glorious. I mean, the Icarus push towards the back end of the company was amazing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was, like,
Nobody expected him
3
to be the
years?
big baby face that he was.
No, and that was a glorious push. I mean, you know, I can still remember his reaction when was it him and Eddie Kingston that was it? It was one of the season finale pay-per-views where Marty Jannetty was supposed to be in the crowd to cheer on Icarus, and he didn't show up. And I think that might have actually been the last pay-per-view before the shutdown.
Oh yeah, when they shut everything down and it was Icarus and Kingston for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were supposed to have Marty Jannetty in the crowd, and he didn't show
and then
up.
they just shut everything down
Because he was wearing the Jannetty gear. I remember we actually watched that one. And
Yep.
and that's a thing. Like they killed that company for a year and still got over, with the Ashes of Chikara movie and all of the Wrestling Is companies, which took a lot longer for us to figure out what was going on there than it probably should have, considering each of the Wrestling Is companies was one of the
letters in Chikara.
Exactly, like in the acronym that was Chikara.
Yeah. I mean, their championship was a banana, so can you fault them?
I can't believe they actually made a banana over. They did. Was Wrestling Is Fun?
Yep.
Yeah.
One thing I'm excited for the future is Claudio being given a proper, sustained push.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, in WWE, he was given glimpses of the push. He was a Paul Heyman guy. He won the Andre Battle Royal. He beat Seth in a great match at WrestleMania that should have propelled him longer than a 6-week push to be fed to Roman. It's a bunch of start and stops for him, and I think he realized that this is my ceiling.
Late.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. By the time it should have been his time, people had stopped caring. Mm-hmm. And it hurts his long-term prospect of being the guy because the crowd doesn't know whether they can believe in him this time. Because the rug's been pulled out so many times. And I think AEW will not do that to him. If they're going to push him, they're going to push him to the fullest extent. Now, the problem with that is the problem that everybody has in that company is how does he stand out on such a roster and not, get lost in the shuffle?
I think it's sort of easier in AEW because the titles are what they are. I think it's easier to stand out as a supremely talented wrestler there because that matters. Going out there and putting on, a great match is equally as important as being in the title feud. Because it is a company it's built on work rate. You remember the great matches.
Yeah.
Like there are definitely some events, specifically some of the pay-per-views there in like the, early pandemic era where you look back on those and, do you remember who was in the title match at Double or Nothing 2020?
Yes, only because that's the only pay-per-view I've never watched.
Okay.
It was Moxley and Brody Lee.
It was. But I mean, there's so many pay-per-views in AEW where you kind of have to scratch your head and think, who did challenge for that title? Like, what pay-per-view did Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley fight for the belt?
Exactly.
That was at an All Out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it was weird because the pandemic stuff it was fine, and we adjusted to it obviously because it was all we had. But I think looking at it in hindsight and realizing, hey, this would have been fucking amazing in a normal time frame.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that were, I don't want to say lost, but there was definitely a lot of things lost, because of that happening when it did. I mean, I dare say that Jamie Hayter is probably thanking her lucky stars, that it happened because it led to Bea Priestley signing with the WWE, and now she's basically got her spot.
Yeah.
And
so what ended up happening
with?
So What ended up happening with the whole Bea Priestley thing? Did they just not like her after a couple shows and then just didn't call her back? Because she was in one of the battle royals.
She was featured pretty prominently. Just a couple of months ago, thanks to the drive, I was doing a rewatch of some of the early Dynamites and the early, up through the pre-pandemic, and she was featured pretty heavily up until around February 2020. So early pandemic, once it started to be a thing, and they sort of started bringing it more in-house and not flying in people. Yeah. Right around that February period of 2020 is when she sort of stopped being brought over, which was about right at times.
And then she did the angle with Will Ospreay, and Ospreay turned on her, and that was pretty much her farewell to NXT UK.
Yep.
And then Jamie Hayter obviously wasn't going to stay in Japan. So,
and she just sort of
it's funny how that worked out.
Opening.
Yeah.
Which probably would have been Bee's spot had it not been for that, because, she already sort of had a loose relationship with Britt in, early Dynamite.
Yep.
So, yes, Kate, you're right. Sometimes it's hard to pull those questions over on Jer, but, he's done it to me a few times. I've done it to him a few times. It can happen every now and again.
There are some dead periods in my my wrestling knowledge, Kate.
Some random obscure questions. I think the first time you and I ever had a trivia off was a proxy fight. It was very, I don't want to say early, but it would have been early when we were still getting to know each other. It would have been like July of 2005, and it was Adam.
Yeah, he
that was sort of in between the two of us, trying to be like, who is smarter? So he'd be like playing the, you would ask questions to him for me, and I'd ask questions to him for you, and we sort of had a proxy fight there.
He did that quiz thing to me outside. We were in line for an ROH show in Markham in probably like 2008. And I remember him quizzing me the entire time we were in line because we had to pass the time.
That sounds about right.
Those shows were they were great shows, but they were in a fucking barn.
I was very happy when they moved to Tenerife, not just because, that's when I started going. That's when you and I started going to those shows together, and the first couple were certainly an experience.
That's funny. I was working on some Ring of Honor stuff for the drive, and I was pulling up old matches, and I just so happened to pull up Kevin Steen winning the Ring of Honor World Title.
I watched that one a few months ago.
So I paused it right after the finish when the hard cam goes back, and I point over in the corner, and I'm like, "Yep, there's me, and there's Johnny."
There we are.
Yep, fourth row or something like that.
I did that not too long ago myself, when just after the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, WrestleMania, when I got Honor Club again. I started watching all those old cards we were at.
Yeah,
and
man, I still haven't seen the FTR Briscoes match.
It's a damn good match.
I gotta go do that. Yeah.
I guess, just to sort of, as I bring the train back around to what we're supposed to be talking about, because you leave FTR us with being amazing. Mic. You leave us with an open mic. We're going to talk about whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Did we get any 5-star matches on Sunday?
Ooh, I don't know if the ratings are out yet.
They're not out yet. It's taken a good bit lately.
I could maybe Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. Okay, here's another thing that kind of struck me as really weird, and I pointed it out after I watched, like as I was watching it, and it just blew my mind. So, Moxley gets hit with a sling blade by Tanahashi in the main event.
Yeah.
Moxley bumps, rolls to the floor, and he's like, zip.
See, that's the weird
what
part.
The fuck?
Is they're trying to say it was hard way.
How? Did Tanahashi not cut his nails?
That was my question too. Like when he went outside and did that very
it was
obvious,
just so out of
what would typically be a blade spot, and it's just like I don't understand it.
Like
obviously I didn't see it live. I saw it on Twitter afterwards.
Yeah.
Somebody had posted it and been like, "Hard way, huh?" And then it was the clip, and you see him go over, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's not. No, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean, the match kind of needed it, sort of like
Yeah.
I guess the best example would be WrestleMania 8. You know, it sort of had that Piper Brett vibe.
Yep.
You know, you had the babyface match that needed a little bit of color.
Yep.
And this one did need a little bit of color. Obviously, you're not going to get it from Tanahashi.
Well, I mean, Tanahashi's hair was red by the end of the match.
Well, yeah, but, you know, it wasn't his shade of red.
Yeah. So it just felt weird because, and another thing, Tanahashi is so fucking good that he turned the crowd on Moxley for a good 5 minutes in that match. That crowd wanted nothing more than to see Tanahashi hit the high fly flow and win the title. And that would have sent the crowd home happy. And just seeing them work into the spots where Moxley would get up and Tanahashi would have to hit him with the crossbody rather than the high fly flow. It was just a weird dynamic where, and I was curious if it was going to happen the other way around, where Moxley, being the super popular babyface, kind of flips the crowd on Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
But we know who the ace is and who the ace isn't. So
it was a little shocking though, because this was you know, a home crowd. It was a home crowd for Mox, you know, and yes, of course, you know, all of the Japanese guys, you know, definitely got a great, you know, experience, great night. Shibata, how crazy did you go?
Man, that was fun. That was unexpected. It was so weird because you'd figure he was there with the LA Dojo guys.
Yeah.
And it's just because he's the wrestler, right?
Mm.
Like that's his gimmick. He's very straight-laced, very I am here to fight. And then they put him out there with Orange Cassidy and he just fits the role. So it's like, what? I thought it was amazing. And when they hit his music, and it happens every time because every single time he shows up, it's always unexpected. He does it every year at the G1, whether he's coming back for his promo or his little exhibition with Zack Sabre. Just every time he comes back, like they hit the music and it takes me a good, 2 seconds to clue in that, holy shit, Shibata's here.
Yeah. That was for me as well. You know, they hit the music and I'm like, wait, who is that? Because, you don't, it's been so long since we've heard it consistently.
Yeah.
You sort of forget it.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, is that? And then, you had Kevin Kelly point out the sign in the crowd, with the fan, that we'd seen if Shibata's music plays, I'll cry, and they point that out, read the sign, and, Kevin Kelly's like, I bet that guy's crying now. And it's like, wait.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay. So was Kevin Kelly an upgrade over JR or what?
I don't know if I'd say upgrade, but
Kevin Kelly knows who the wrestlers are and what they're trying to get across in their match.
That helped. That absolutely helped. And that's why he was there all night, because he did know all of the New Japan guys and all of their thoughts and all of the stories. So you didn't have any of that awkwardness. But I think
JR watches the TV every week and still doesn't know.
I think the thing that worked was that Kevin Kelly and Excalibur had amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
And that's not something we typically see, like when he's there with JR and Shivani, he's sort of the, he's the third man in the booth. He's not the voice people want to hear, which is unfortunate because he is extremely good at what he does, and it shows. Like Shivani's sort of sliding into that role that I like, where he's sort of just handling his shtick, like his
He's the
working
fun color guy.
Yeah, his working of the 6-man was great. You had some good jokes, some good puns. He mentioned the dudes with attitudes, like we called out on the show on Saturday, which I did not expect.
That was. Hey,
You know,
somebody's
we
got
got
to point it out. And Shivani's the guy who was there, so.
we got the the great Kevin Kelly pun. Stingo Bernables, De Japón. I love that. I popped
Yep.
hard for it. Somebody, the fact that's not a shirt yet is angering me greatly.
Yeah,
That's too good not
That should
to
have
be a
been
shirt.
made yesterday.
But Kevin Kelly was definitely. He's very talented and is very unsung, and this is the first time the North American market has got to see that in a long time.
Yeah,
the big
because I mean, they
stage.
probably remember Kevin Kelly as the butt of The Rock's jokes,
Yeah,
or the guy who did color on Raw during a down period in like late '96. So, and we've followed him through Ring of Honor and New Japan and everything he's done in between.
Mhm.
So we've kind of watched him grow into this amazing play-by-play guy that he is now, and then you just thrust him onto this unsuspecting American audience now, and it's like, holy shit, who is this guy?
yeah. I think the weird part was that Taz was the third man out.
Yeah,
And he did that role appropriately. He stayed there and he shut up, for most of the night, which was
he's not going to be
great.
cracking jokes like it's on Dark.
Exactly. But like
he
kept,
knows the importance of the show, and he treats it as such.
and he was good with the more submission style stuff that you see in a lot of those matches. Like he knows the difference between a Juji Katami and and something else. And he knows the difference between an octopus and an abdominal stretch.
Yeah,
Which I think was important later on in the night. But it was an interesting tandem that I didn't expect. You see them at the buy-in, and it's like, okay, it's a good crew for the buy-in. I like this. Kevin Kelly out there. My one complaint for the night is that we know he was there. No Chris Carlton.
I don't know if. I mean, I think the problem with that is they would have felt like it was shoehorning him in just for the sake of it. I don't know.
I think if they'd have switched out Excalibur for one match, it would have been fine. Because they do fill a very similar role.
Yeah.
So I think in one of the more heavily New Japan matches. So from, it's tough because like the first thing you want to say is maybe the 6-man, because you've got one team that's basically all New Japan or New Japan-esque guys with the Bullet Club, and Shingo on the other side. But you've got Sting in there, and that wouldn't quite have worked. So I guess maybe the IWGP title match would have been a good one.
That could have, that would have worked.
Switch out Excalibur for that one, and then you have Chris, Kevin, and JR, and I think that would have been just fine.
Yeah, because JR probably would have realized his role and stayed in the background, and
like he did.
Yeah, he was a lot more subdued on this show because I think he was out of his comfort zone so much.
Well, I don't even know that, but I think he felt more comfortable with Kevin Kelly because they have a history.
Yeah,
they've known each other for almost.
He probably feels he
30
needs to
years.
take the reins from Excalibur more often than he does.
Mhm.
So with Kevin Kelly there, it's okay. I can take a back seat to this and get my lines in and focus on not carrying the show like he's used to, which that's up for debate, and is more. Okay, I can just do my shtick here. It's taking the Tony Schiavone role. People know who he is. They know why he's here. Do your thing. You're already over. Get your shit in, as they say, and get out.
Okay. I mean, I guess we're it's about time to start wrapping this up. So,
like PN News. Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
Oh, brother. That's an awful gimmick. Awful gimmick. I got to we were talking on Saturday. I've been watching Clashes lately. I'm now up to like mid 94, but I went through 93 earlier. Oh boy, I had to relive the Shockmaster debut.
Oh boy, yeah.
That was not good.
Yeah, I was watching some late 93 Saturday night and Shockmaster.
Yeah. But I digress. Overall, on the scale of events, let's wrap them all up together. So WWE, AEW, New Japan, all of them where does this rank as a 2022 pay-per-view?
I would probably say top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's number 1 because I really liked Revolution. I think Punk MJF might be my match of the year right now.
Fair.
I mean, it could end up number 1, but I feel I don't want to put it there yet. You know what I mean? Like, I really liked the show, but I'm kind of on the fence as far as, hey, this is an all-time great show. I'll probably need to watch it again with like, you know, a more critical eye of kind of taking a step back from it all and not like experiencing it, where I'm not like, holy shit, Orange Cassidy kicked out, and more like, okay, what's the context of this match? Did they achieve their objective? You know, from a more critical eye on the show. And obviously, I think it'll hold up. It was a fantastic show. But I think I'm just hesitant to give it all the accolades right yet.
That's fair.
I don't think WWE pay-per-view will touch it, though. I mean,
no.
Their undercards are not very good.
I think for me, I think I have to put it at number 1. Just because top to bottom, I was intrigued. You know, from the time the first bell rang on the buy-in to the end of the night, I was there for everything. You know, like even the buy-in probably had, arguably for me, the biggest pop of the night. For me, it was on the buy-in. You know, when during the Ass Boys entrance after the rap, when Danhausen popped up on the screen and gave them their new entrance music, which, you know, if you're a fan of Danhausen's social media, you already know that song. You know, because he put it out on YouTube.
Also, that Lance Archer match on the pre-show was fucking banging.
It was a good banger that I did not expect it to be.
6-minute hoss fight. Even though Archer like landed on his brain in the first 3 seconds.
I expected that to be just a quick squash match, to be like Lance Archer's going to the G1 and he's going to kick butt. It did, however, have the moment where I was like, oh, Kevin, no. When Kevin Kelly suggested that, you know, Nick Comoroto could be in next year's G1, like, no, Kevin, no, you don't put jobbers in the G1, Kevin.
I mean, he might be more interesting than Yujiro Takahashi.
Well, okay, but
I mean, if they're up to 28, I'm willing to play around here.
But let's assume that, you know, 2023, we're hopefully at a place in the world where we're a bit more, you know, free on the Gaijin entries, so we can, you know, have more than, you know, 4, you know, 3 LA or 3 New Japan Strong guys and Lance Archer, I think is what it is, right? It's got Tom Lawler and Jonah.
Yep.
Lance Archer, and
is Phantasmo in there too?
Well, not counting Phantasmo because he's not, you know, he's a homegrown, right? Like, I mean, I know he's not actually Japanese, but
he's a Vancouver West Coast guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was like Australian, New Zealand.
No, he was ECCW for years and years. Yeah.
I did not know that at all. But all right, that's gonna do it for this discussion here. We're gonna bring this show to a close, folks. We're gonna bring tonight's show to a close. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. Hope you guys gave us a like, gave us a follow, click that bell, all those fun things. Jared, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jamie Virtue. You can find me on Facebook, the Dark Match Drive Facebook page. All your wrestling news, memes, commentary, all sorts of stuff is on the Facebook page. It's updated daily. You don't need to go anywhere else for all your wrestling information. There's also a Google Drive connected with that for $10 a month for hours and hours and hours of wrestling. Anything you could want wrestling-wise, it's probably there. And if it ain't there, I can get it for you. Hit me up on that. We do a Discord also where we stream some live shows, we stream some, previous shows, just all wrestling all the time. It's a great place to be.
And you can find me here, there, and everywhere. Bros Before Pros on Twitch. If you are a fan of our content, you can click the like button, click the follow button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click the bell, or you can join our Patreon page where you can support us over there, where we have Lambkin Lanes, we have a whole bunch of other fun stuff that you can only get exclusively over on our Patreon page. And of course, you can tune into House of the Empire right here on this channel. Episode 1 is up now. Episode 2 will be soon to follow.
Man, in this economy, it really should be like Bachelor Apartment of the Empire.
All right, so I've put myself back in.
Of course, you can get us back here at the Fandom Empire Show every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Keep an eye out for any pre-recorded content that might pop up in your stream. You never know what we've got on deck with Sean or Mike or myself, or who knows. And of course, keep an eye out for any random pop-up shows we might have here on the channel. For all of the hosts here on the Fandom Empire Show, for Sean, for Tommy B, for Mike Bish, for Maddie, for Jer, and myself, this has been the Fandom Empire Show. We'll see you next week.
He can't hear us, can he?
I can hear him.
I can hear him, but he could. I've been trying to talk for like the last 2 minutes.
I can hear you now. I don't know about 2 minutes, but
I inserted myself and I tried to butt in there for a second, but and then poof, I don't know. He did the freeze thing again. I like on my screen where I can see all you guys.
Yeah,
frozen. So,
weird.
Yeah, weird. Big thanks to Caitlin for putting the links up. I just want to throw this out there. I sent you a link prior to the show. You'd already seen it. How I guess Daniel Bryan and a couple others appeared on Raw.
Oh, yes.
Just for John Cena. I just wanted to say, like, negativity is such like an easy thing to sell, because it's literally what makes the world turn. It seems like in 2022 is negativity.
Gotta have somebody to hate on.
Yeah, right. It was really nice to just sort of see that had happened.
Yeah, like WWE contacted Tony Khan and said, "Hey, we're doing the John Cena 20th anniversary show. We know you have a couple guys on your roster who have history with John Cena. Could they record a couple videos?" And Tony Khan was like, "Yeah, sure. That's cool." I mean, he led Jericho on the Steve Austin podcast on the WWE Network less than 2 years ago. So he got to talk about AEW forming and the Young Bucks and all this. So it's very easy to create this idea of tribalism with wrestling companies and AEW sucks and WWE sucks, but like the boys don't give a shit. They're all making money and living life being professional wrestlers. So who cares? Like it's all
shit
one
clears, they're
umbrella.
happy.
Yeah, exactly. They're happy to do what they do, and they're all friends with Cena anyways. They're probably like, "Fuck yeah, we'll do it."
Yeah, I think that was just think it's cool. Like there's so much negativity out there that it was nice to see something positive. Now I'll go in half baked here, and don't anybody assume that I'm saying this is going to happen, because I 150 billion% don't think it will. But wouldn't it be nice if you had, like, obviously WWE, the monster mega global company, and AEW, who is continuing to rise, and obviously their main competitor of sorts. Wouldn't it be nice to like have both of them on the same page, and then once every 5 years meet up for an AEW versus WWE type thing? It'll never happen. I'm not stupid, but I'm saying in 2022, where everything in entertainment is crossover, literally fucking everything, it's too bad that there isn't a situation like that for those two companies to do that in, because I think you could do some unique things, even if a lot of people came from one company and went to the other. I still think it'd be cool. It'd be better.
Well, yeah, AEW has shown that they're willing to work with New Japan and Impact and AAA, and so Forbidden Door is literally an open door. Just depends on the context, I guess.
The problem is, and it's not so much the companies inherently, it's the cable networks that would be involved. Like if you even look as deep as in the WWE itself, Fox and USA are internally feuding with each other because they hate that, SmackDown guys are appearing on Raw. Because it's not their network.
Well, yeah, USA insisted on having a Hell in a Cell match.
I was going to say, do you remember the Hell in a Cell debacle last year?
Yeah, strictly because there was one on SmackDown on Fox the week before.
Yep. Despite the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view
being in between, yeah.
Yeah.
It was chaos.
It was ridiculous.
And WWE is, beholden to their masters. And, those TV contracts pay a decent chunk of their revenue, and hey,
decent chunk.
I mean, Peacock is paying, a decent chunk as well for the network. So they got revenue streams.
Well, fellas, I just thought it'd be just fun to put that out there. Obviously, it'll never happen, but it is too bad that we don't live in something like that to happen. But anyways, appreciate you guys carrying the load the last half an hour or so. Big thanks to Mike and Tommy and Matt, and yeah, that's it. Tommy, Matt. Those were the guys that showed up.
And Terrence.
Terrence. Terrence popped in too. Big thanks to no big thanks to him actually. And big
I don't know. I actually agreed with him tonight, so maybe thanks for showing up tonight.
His jokes are trash.
And
if that ain't the pot calling the kettle black.
Big thanks to Jared and Caitlin for becoming mods on the channel. A little bit of help here and there. It's always nice. Johnny already did the outro plugs, so I will leave you with this awkward goodbye.